Hello, welcome, WJ Burns PHX. You're looking at the Big Kahuna, or what I call the Big Kahuna. It is a Philco Tropic table radio from 1946, model 46888. It is an 11 tube multi-band radio that has broadcast, shortwave 1, 2, and 3, phono input, spread band tuning. They're on 31 meters, 25 meters, 19, 16, and 13 meter bands. It has been completely refurbished inside and outside. This one here was really a squeaker. This gave me a lot of complex issues. As you look back in the playlist for the Philco Tropic in progress videos, and you'll see what I went through with this radio to try to get it in operating condition. It was in actually the radio, the cabinetry and the chassis and everything was in great condition. It was the wiring that was a big problem, because there was nothing. I could get nothing on this radio when tested. So be sure to check out that playlist for the Tropic radio on Philco, and you'll see what we went through on this one. It has a honey finish and dark walnut with a mix of a slightly red mahogany. It has new decaling. The trim is in oil rubbed bronze metallic. The dial glass, all the individual panes of dial glass has been buff polished. The knobs are originals. It has a new lamp in on the phono section. It has little diffusers on for the lights up here, so that we don't get too much cross light in these columns for the bands. It has a new speaker grill cloth in it. This interior band through here and down the other side is in oil rub bronze metallic also. It has new rubber feet, the larger rubber feet. Get it up off the thing. You'll find the finish stuff, how we took care of the original and stripped it, in the progress videos. The back is original. It has been doctored to fill in some of the bad war spots on it. The chassis has been adapted over. These two on the right are for a phono input. We got a negative or a ground here, and an audio in there. Over here we have an external antenna terminal and a ground, and I've added a phono auxiliary input rather than have to wire in individual wires and anything. You can take a 3.5 millimeter stereo plug and plug it into here. You won't get stereo out, but it'll combine the two audio right left into one, so that the radio can produce it. It has a fuse installed in it, has a new polarized power cord installed in it. There is a switch on the chassis back here in the back. You can't see it because it's covered by the panel, for a high, medium, and low setting. I'm guessing that it doesn't show on the schematic, but I believe it's for a power, your power requirement. There are two settings on this: 115 volt and 230 volt. It is currently set for American 115, and I believe that selector switch is if you're running, if you've got it set for 115 volt input and you're running 120 volts out of your sockets, you can set it on a high setting and it'll adapt the thing over so it will reduce the power requirement so your tubes don't overheat. And if you're low, you can set it on a low setting and it will bypass a lot of the additional switching for the power requirement. The fuse, I usually run a 500 milliamp fast blow fuse in most of my receivers. This one here with 11 tubes, it's pulling about 600 milliamps, 650 milliamps. In some cases, with the power running a little high, like about 120 volts, 121 volts, it might be pushing 700 milliamps. Generally, what I use is a 750 milliamp slow blow, so that way the in-rush current doesn't knock out your fuse. Right now, under test, it was running 0.750 milliamps. So I put a 1 amp fast blow in it. So you can use a 1 amp. Don't use a 1.5 or a 2 amp or a 3 amp. If something goes wrong, you burn your components out, especially the transformer if it goes south. So I like cutting it close. Use the lowest that you can go, slow blow, or use the nearest you can get to that requirement, and fast blow. Better to give up a fuse than to give up a transformer. The phono I've already covered. This little gizzy thingy right back in there, that one there is a sensitivity switch. Use it for those weak ass stations that you can increase your sensitivity or decrease it depending on your signal strength. If it's overrunning the circuit, you can dial it back. If it's not doing too good, you can run it up. I've got it set for my antenna for what I use. What I would suggest, it has no internal loop antenna. That you're gonna need an external antenna. You can go high tech if you want, or you can go low tech like I do and just stick a wire up on a fence and make sure it doesn't go to ground, and run it out there for about 20 feet or so, and hope for the best reception. My antenna, if you look here, you can barely see it, right up there where it comes out the wall, and it heads that way out there to that post right there. And then let me get over here where you can see it comes from that post right there around over to here and right up here to my canopy, and that's all there is to that. From the shed to there is about 25 feet or so. From here back to here is about another 20-25 feet or so, and that's it. I use this end right here of this one for radios that I have out here on the bench to do demonstrating. So you can go high tech or you can go low tech. What I would suggest is whatever you use a ground wire also. Put a ground wire on it, and you're going to alleviate a lot of static buildup on the thing, the crackling and the stuff in the background, and it'll help bring in those distance stations. I get better result putting an earth ground. I use an earth ground on my radios here. Let me see if I can show you one here. That pipe right there, it goes down into the ground probably about a foot or so, 18 inches, and then I've got a wire and a terminal screwed onto that, and then I got it running back over here that I can use it for my radios here on the bench. I have another stake out the back door of my shed that I got a wire comes through there about 40 feet long or so I can use a earth ground on for inside the shed. So you don't need to have an earth ground. If it's inconvenient, you can go to a cold water ground if you have to, but that's what I would suggest. It will quieten down the background noise if you do that. So what I'm going to do now, I've talked your ears off. I'm gonna patch in a quick video from this morning. I think it was from this morning. It might have been from yesterday morning. One of the mornings I came out in the shed and I fired this thing up, and I put it through its paces on the 31, 25, and I think maybe the 19 meter band, whichever one was the morning programming, because you won't get nothing on these in the evening, and you won't get pretty much anything on the high side 13 meter band late or early morning. The shortwave 1, 2, and 3 bands are already on the previous video to this. So I think I've covered everything about this thing. Everything else is covered in the other in progress videos, and in that place set you'll also find the intro video of this thing in its original state that I pulled it off the shelf. So enjoy the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll have more on the airline radio, the 04 WG803 for the next video release. So stay tuned, and thank you for your comments and your attention. Have a great week. Okay, we're out in the shed early this morning. It's about 7 o'clock by the cuckoo. We're on the 31 meter band, and we're going to check to see how it's doing in the mornings. And as you can hear, hopefully, we're getting something at the basement. So let's move it on up.
해외에서 미국으로 투자한 돈보다 미국인들이 다른 나라에 투자한 돈이 거의 30억 달러가 많았습니다.
9.42.
8:30
or thereabouts.
คุณผู้ฟังสามารถเข้าไปดูได้ที่
4.5, 4.6. .52. Barely a little something right there, but it ain't coming through. Something right there, about 9.58.
ก็คือเมนูหมูแถวไม่เตี้ยนสูง
About 9.6.
ใช่ค่ะผู้ฟังก็คือ
9.62. Little something there, but it's not clear. Here comes the Red Baron. We're on a scraping run this morning. Yeah. Hey. Okay, something there about 9.74. 9.76. 9.78, somewhere around there. Something more through there. Something up in the attic there. 9.88. A little something there at about 9.89 or something. And there's something way up there, but you can't bring it in. Well, there's a lot more there than I thought. That band there is very active in the mornings. So there you are. Okay, we're going to go through a real fast scan of the 25 and 19 meter bands. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. So we're at the top. And that's about it for that one. Kick it over into the 19 meter. Okay, there's those two. We're not going to do the other ones because they're going to be, well, let's see. Let's see if there's anything on this in the mornings. Probably not till later. What about the 13 meter? Nothing there either. Okay, well, that's it for that. Alright, now with that in the bag, and you can see the operation of the radio. This radio will not be offered up on eBay. I have a subscriber that once he's seen the first video of this series, he wanted the radio, and so he sent me a bank money order for deposit on this radio. So this won't be going to eBay for offering. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.